Hi, this is michellesam from Sammy Wong's Kitchen. Today is part 2 of Sammy Wong's Kitchen Chinese Cooking 101 series. And I am going to show you how to make basic meat marinade. Actually, it should be called magic meat marinade because I use this in everything. Pork, beef, chicken, even turkey. Pretty much all of my Chinese dishes have these basic ingredients, and I also put them as the base for many of my marinades that are not Chinese. So I just came back from spending a few weeks in some restaurants in New York City, and there's one chef that was designated to make all the sauces. So every day he would make a particular sauce for that week. And I thought to myself, what a great idea. So normally when I cook, I cut up the meat and then I add all the ingredients. I thought, gosh, if I just had all these ingredients prepped in a bottle, all I need to do is add the designated amount into the meat and save a bit of time. So a few things that I learned that I'm going to be incorporating into my home cooking. They make their sauces in vats, and obviously because we are cooking at home, we don't need that quantity. But they do use a lot of these plastic takeout containers, which I thought, what a great idea. So don't throw away your plastic containers that you get from takeout or from the deli. Keep them and reuse them. I'm going to make this magic meat marinade, and we're going to store it in a container. So anytime you need to marinate your meat, all you need to do is go into the fridge, find your meat marinade, and spoon out the appropriate amount for the quantity of meat that you have. Another thing that I learned from the restaurants is that they label everything. So as you can see here, there's a little blue label on this particular container that says magic meat. Actually, it says basic meat marinade. So have some masking tape and write it down there plus the date, because sometimes we find stuff in our refrigerator that we don't know from which decade it came. So always label and date your container so you'll know exactly what it is and when it was made. Now for the ingredients of your meat marinade. So to create the basic meat marinade mixture, what you'll need are essentially 6 ingredients plus cornstarch. This particular recipe will marinate 10 pounds of meat. The 6 ingredients that you'll need are 5 teaspoons of sea salt, which is about 40 grams, and 2.5 teaspoons of white pepper, which equates to about 10 grams. And I like using white pepper instead of black pepper because I find that when you incorporate black pepper into your marinade, and if you are cooking with lighter colored meats like chicken breasts, then your chicken breasts tend to have all these black specks over it. So if that is not a concern to you, then you can go ahead and just use black pepper. But otherwise, I like using white pepper in my marinade. 2.5 teaspoons of sugar, which is about 15 grams. 10 tablespoons of soy sauce, which is just over half a cup of soy sauce, about 143 mils. And 10 tablespoons of whiskey, which is a little less than 2/3 cups, about 150 mils. You can also use Shaoxing wine, and I like the taste and aroma of sesame oil. 10 teaspoons of sesame oil. And all we're going to do is combine all these green ingredients into a container and mix it up. We're then going to make sure we put our label on, as well as our date, so that we know what it is. And this particular basic meat marinade, there are no ingredients in this meat marinade that will spoil, so it should last for several months. So I'm trying to be more efficient, and then you're probably wondering why I didn't combine the cornstarch with the meat marinade mixture. And this is why. In this container, I actually did combine the cornstarch and the meat marinade, and over time it does separate. So you will see here it has settled. You can see three distinct lines: the sesame oil, the soy sauce, and probably alcohol. And then you see here is the cornstarch. Now, I want to show this close up so you can see exactly what happens to the cornstarch. So the cornstarch by nature is what they call hydrophobic, which means it does not like water. So when it comes in close contact with water, it kind of just shrinks up and protects itself. And as a result, that's what causes the clumping. In order to prevent the clumping in the mixture, I just separate it. And so every time I need to make the marinade, I'll add the cornstarch separately from the regular mixture. So the way it is right now, the cornstarch will mix into the liquid, but it'll take some work. So let me show you what it looks like. The cornstarch is way in the bottom, and it is definitely very hard. It's almost like sand at the beach, very fine sand at the beach. And this is not to say that it won't mix into the mixture. It just takes a little work in order to get it mixed into the liquid before you can actually use it in your marinade. So the easiest thing would be just to have the cornstarch separate from the rest of your marinade, and then add the cornstarch to the meat, and then add in your marinade. So that's just a tip for the meat marinade. So to save time and be more efficient in your meal prep, what you need to do is for every 454 grams or 1 pound of meat, add 1 tablespoon of cornstarch and 2.5 tablespoons of meat marinade, and that should make it a lot easier for you. More recipes can be found on sammywongskitchen.com or social media. If you found this video helpful, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thanks!